about that. I sorry about that. We had a slight power outage, which I'm 100% convinced that this was definitely a CIA plot to silence me, but I will not be silenced. My internet my internet is never to be taken down. My voice will now be even further amplified, and I will not be stopped by the CIA. Uh, okay, I think we should be good. But in all seriousness, they had a bizarre power outage. I think that they're working on the roof, and maybe they tapped something. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen here. But that's okay. We're back up. Let me make sure we got everything going. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? I don't know if I said hi to you, but just in case. There we go. We're back. That's right, Rendies, we're back. Sorry about that. Okay. Ooh. That was a bit strange. Very, very strange, but that's okay. Not a problem. The cool thing, okay, so the advantage to streaming with a laptop, yes, I don't have the same amount of firepower, but I don't have to wait till everything comes back online. All I have to do is just kind of wait for the internet to reset itself, and I'm good. So that's the one advantage. I never lost any type of any type of settings or any type of anything. So hey, I guess that's the advantage. Okay, folks, let me make sure we got everything going. We've got a few headlines to go through. I was trying to pull everything up here. Okay. So yesterday we talked about how Mitch McConnell was saying that, corporate America should stay out of politics. CEOs shouldn't get themselves involved into politics and things like that. Which, hey, accidentally based McConnell. True. Maybe CEOs shouldn't be having undue influence in our politics. But, as we quickly find out, it's not exactly what he meant. Let's take a look. Mitch McConnell says the quiet part out loud tells corporate America to stay out of politics, but clarifies that he's not talking about political contributions. As people pointed out, it turns out that the lion's share of political donations and corporate donations go to the Republican Party. So yeah, he's basically saying like, stay out of politics, but not like that. Keep giving us money. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has made it clear that he wants corporate CEOs to stay out of politics, unless that is they're putting money in politicians' campaigns. True, that's really weird because like he didn't really say that about about My Pillow and things like that, which I find bizarre. Exactly. As he was, as people very quickly pointed out, like, hey, wait a minute, what about political contributions? Maybe you're right, McConnell. Maybe corporations shouldn't have undue influence on politics. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Not like that. You know? Really quickly, folks. A thank you to Valmet 35 for the offline follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, specifically not tired of that. Not tired of the bribes. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. That is, it's really weird because like they had to really do some Olympic level mental gymnastics to be like, corporations shouldn't be inserting themselves into politics unless they are with us or unless they are giving us campaign contributions, which is really weird. And just to use his words, quote, and just his words, my advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Don't pick sides in these big fights. What do you mean big fights, first of all? Second of all, yeah, they often do take political sides. You're just mad that they didn't take yours. Agree or disagree in favor of or against whatever corporations do. The majority of times, corporations have always taken some type of political side. I mean, that's just how it's always been, especially after they were granted essentially personhood status by Citizens United. They're incentivized to stay in politics and to choose sides as it benefits them or as they perceive it benefits them, right? I mean, I don't understand why this is such a surprise Pikachu moment, right? Like, oh, well, it turns out my advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Don't pick sides in these big fights, but also give me money. I mean, from the beginning, we saw like how corporations have influence on politics. They always take a side. Like from the beginning, I mean, we could see easily just as the first example that comes to mind is like the oil and gas industry, who spends a unfathomable amount of money to spread climate change denial. I mean, it's to the tunes of millions and millions per year. We have a lot of industry tied to oil and gas and the plastic industry spread vast or astroturf information about how they're so concerned about the environment and putting the onus on us to recycle, which never happened in the first place. They lied about that. What about companies choosing a side to lobby hard against regulations? I mean, there's an entire industry dedicated to lobbying against regulations and things like that. Madame Defarge with the Tier 1 subscription for 4 months already. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Exactly. Surprised Pikachu moment. Hey, Dustin. How's it going? Yay, Citizens United will give companies a fair voice. No, wait, no. Don't talk about that. Yeah, like, exactly. I just realized that I've been trying to get citizen status since the 1800s. Before the Civil War, they've been playing the game of activism, electoralism, legal, and the news. They play every single side to try to systematically win. Yeah, it's like, so the point being is like companies have always had a side. Companies have always put money or resources into political movements or politicians, or put money behind legislation that will benefit them. Hey, potato ban plug. How's it going? How's it going? That's right, Madame Defarge, or Monsanto with their endless lobbying and getting rules put in place in their favor, where you can't use their seeds or something like that. I forget what it is. Like, they literally own the seeds to some of their plants, or they do, or they do lobbying to get out of regulations and stuff like that. That's right, Wing. So if you know if it's off topic, why are you asking it? If anyone's interested, bananas, there it is, Wing. I'm powering through my nap time trying to be responsible. That's right, or help governments lie to start wars. True. If anyone's interested, the life insurance companies throughout the 19th century stripped states' rights to require. Throughout the 19th century, stripped states' rights to regulate companies from other states. Gotcha. Yeah, so again, the point being is, companies shouldn't be political, but also companies are people who need a political voice. I mean, so companies are people who deserve a political voice, but also stay out of politics. I don't get it. I don't get it. They own the pollen. If their GMO pollen contaminates the neighboring crop, the other farmer has to pay Monsanto. That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, just asking questions, bro. Okay. Twitter users and journalists were quick to point out that McConnell's status as a longtime recipient of corporate donations, outstripping most other members of Congress by some measures when it came to political donations. But McConnell rebuked any suggestion of hypocrisy Tuesday, clarifying his original statement and carving out an exception for political contributions. I'm not. So hold on. I'm not talking about political contributions. I'm talking about taking a position on a highly incendiary issue like this and punishing a community or a state because you don't like a particular law they passed. I just think it's stupid. I'm gonna start patenting air. Yeah, I mean, they already sell. They're already starting future sales. Wait, is it water futures on the exchange? They're already doing that. Why can we even give money to a politician, period? Shouldn't they all have equal amount of resources? I think that, like, I think that what should happen is probably make it so that, one, Citizens United doesn't exist. Two, make it so that either political contributions are regulated or limited, in which case you can't just create essentially an unlimited slush fund, an unlimited political slush fund, right? Or just outlaw or restrict lobbying, right? Just restrict lobbying so that you can't lobby past X amount of money, so that the voice of the people don't get outspent by corporations, right? So you make it so that the point being is you make it so that the amount of the voice of the corporations don't, or people who have more resources don't exactly aren't unbalanced, right? And 100% transparent. That's right. That's right, Potato Man Plug. That's right. Just simply make it so that like you said, transparent. Limit it so that nobody's voice gets overpowered. So that nobody's voice gets overpowered, and limit contributions. I wonder what was not okay with my message. I don't know. Automod can be weird. I think every news station should be required to give free airtime to running candidates equally too. There's an idea. There you go. If corporations were worker co-ops, how would we think about lobbying? As long as it doesn't as long as the voice of one doesn't outweigh the voice of the many. So like if you have like a large worker co-op or something like that, they should still be allowed to have a limit on how much X they could lobby. Like, for example, every corporation, no matter what, can only give up to X. We'll set X at, I don't know, 10,000. Or we'll set X at 25,000. Or we'll set X at 50,000. Whatever it is that X is, corporations can't give more than this. But it's divided up into percentages by who the employees vote for. Maybe, but that feels like a lot of steps. That feels like a lot of steps. Right. I think we should just limit it. Didn't we used to have a system where corporations could only give X amount of money anyways? Like, that would just be a simple solution, I think. If you're a corporation, if you're a large multinational corporation, you shouldn't be allowed to give more than X. but it is divided into percentages by who the employees vote for. Because okay, so I see what you're saying. I said you essentially what you're saying is the corporation foots the bill on behalf of the employees. The corporation foots the bill on behalf of the employees, which I think it could work. But I don't know. I feel like still they can kind of they may or may not be able to, like, I don't want to give corporations like that much power. Like, oh, did you vote for so and so? Huh, that's interesting. I noticed that the other day you took 2 seconds more for your bathroom break. Man, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna have to let you go, man. I don't know. Corporations, when they want to get into new status. Oh, corporations, when they want to go into new states, used to have to invest in local economies, and they have to have cash reserves to guarantee a safety net by holding X amount of cash. Interesting. Wouldn't it be better just give them enough money so that they can also donate politically? Yeah, or just have like public funding of elections, or just have like public funding of elections, or just simply set limits where you can't donate as a or you can't donate as a corporation or as a entity. You can't donate more than X, right? And just be done with that. Because I think we used to have that. We used to have that where corporations were only allowed to donate. I think it was a maximum of like 20,000 or something like that, or 10,000. I can't really remember what the rule was, but the point is they can't pass X. I think that would be a simple solution that could be effective in trying to limit money in politics. All I know is money in politics heckin' complicated. True. Very true. Anyways, we're going off to the rails here. Yeah, so it turns out the TLDR, McConnell has backpedaled and said that, wait a minute, no. We don't mean when we say when we say stay out of politics, we mean we mean everything but what we want, and please keep donating to us because we need it. Please keep donating to us because we need it. He's not. I mean, that didn't take very long. My math was off. 80% to Bernie would be 8,000 of the 10 million. Yeah. 8 million to the 10 million. TLDR. This is a masterful Olympic level mental gymnastics here to excuse to excuse that. Companies literally scientifically try to figure out how to manipulate the Supreme Court and get their cases to them most effectively. True. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Mitch doesn't understand how lobbying works. Oh, he understands. He understands very well. Right. So moving to the Moving to the next article. Hmm. Explain to me how this makes sense in any way, shape, or form. Explain to me how this makes sense in any way, shape, or form. Ah, yes, the guy who's looking at quite the amount of charges, allegedly, is going to headline a pro-Trump women's event at his Doral resort. Which is wildly bizarre to me because, number one, it was Trump's DOJ that started this investigation, by the way. I mean, is this really the direction they want to go? Because this is kind of cringe. Even as a federal investigation into sex trafficking allegations looms over him, Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida is set to headline a pro-Trump conservative women's gala held at the Trump-owned Florida golf resort this week. The Save America Summit, oh lord, organized by the Women for America First group, is set to be held at the Trump National Doral at the Trump National Doral, Miami. Gaetz is expected to be one of the event's keynote speakers. And imagine knowing that these things are these investigations are underway and still being like, yeah, this guy is definitely fine to talk about women's issues, as he's being like investigated for allegedly sex trafficking an underage girl. Yeah, exactly. Gaetz headlining a women's event. Fox News be like, Matt who? Oh yeah, a lot of the GOP is trying to distance themselves from him, but you know, I thought it was a parody at first. Oh no. I get that a lot of these. I get that a lot of times we're like, we're teetering the line of parody and reality, but this is true. It would be funny if he got arrested live on TV. True. Hey, Go Past Tech, how's it going? I had to distance myself from the GOP. True. From the start. Representative Matt Gaetz has been a fearless leader in D.C. Few members of Congress had been more willing than Matt to stand up and fight on behalf of President Trump and his America First agenda. Well, I mean, I guess that part's true. We're honored to have Representative Matt Gaetz speak at the Save America Summit. Save America from what, though? Insider has contacted Gaetz and the Women for America First organization for comment. According to the group's website, the exclusive weekend will cost a fantastic rate of $199 a night to attend. Wow. The gala dinner where Gaetz is set to speak has a theme of Americana featuring barbecue, boots, and bluegrass. This is poised to be Gaetz' first public appearance since the news broke of the Department of Justice investigation. $199 a night to attend. So the TLDR, the Justice Department, is specifically investigating whether he paid for a 17-year-old girl to travel and have sex with him. Gaetz has denied the allegations against him, dismissing them as being part of a smear campaign that he said tried to extort millions of dollars from his family. I'm sure you'll be able to provide evidence for that, right? On Monday, Gaetz wrote an op-ed article saying he was absolutely not resigning from Congress. Yeah, why would he? Why would he? I mean, listen, none of these things stopped anybody else from... none of these things stopped... None of these things is gonna... why would he be incentivized to resign? I mean, Trump was flagrant about it. Trump was completely flagrant about it. I mean, there's literally video and audio evidence of him being completely fine and okay with this type of behavior. I mean, look at Governor Andrew Cuomo. Why would he step down? Why would he step down? Why would somebody like Andrew Cuomo step down after having that precedent set? And then, furthermore, why would Matt Gaetz resign? I mean, why would he? Do you get what my logic is? I'm completely not surprised that he would say that. Gaetz is a weird case for me. I married a 6... But wait, Larry Weird. Larry, were you nearly 40 years old when you tried to marry a 16-year-old girl? Reality has always been less believable than a lot of novels, true. Why do you think that reality is always less believable? Oh, yeah. Gaetz got zero chill. He thinks he's going to get away with it. Why? I mean, Trump did. Andrew Cuomo apparently is apparently going scot-free. He would not resign because he's a piece of garbage. True. My point being is, it's already set that this type of behavior is not a career-ending move. So why would they resign? You get what I'm saying? Hey, Ola Bustios. How's it going? Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, that's completely different. I mean, that's completely different. There's a huge difference between somebody who's 17 someone who's 17 marrying a 16-year-old versus someone who's almost past I think Matt Gaetz is 36, isn't he? 37? Allegedly paid for and had sexual relations with a 17-year-old girl. That is 238. Thank you, War Machine. Two different things. Two completely different things. But Gaetz is such a piece of nerd outside his love life. Yeah. My point being is that these guys have no incentive to resign because of the precedent that has been set of what is acceptable. That is my point. I mean, even beforehand, I mean, this would have been massive. This would have been massive. This would have been career-ending. This would have been it. But hey, Chai, resigning is an admission of guilt. Yeah, I mean, true. But also grandstanding like that is kind of telling too. So I feel the need to say something here. Sure. Just as long as it's TOS, I don't think anybody should have a problem with that. It'll absolutely forced, exactly. I didn't say anything TOS though. No, I'm saying you can say or ask anything as long as it's not TOS. That's what I'm saying. It says the message was TOS. I don't see it because the automod would catch it. The automod would tell me. The automod would tell me that it blocks something. That's kind of weird. I'm not seeing anything here. That's weird. What if you send it to me in a whisper? Because I'm not seeing the automod or what it caught or what it didn't catch. Yeah, but even if the automod would have caught it, it would have said your message. It would have said here, because I can see the mod settings. It would have said, "Oh, this message was held for approval," or something like that. It would tell me here. The 3-letter word for human relations is banned. What? Oh man. The DOJ is investigating him. He's cooked. We'll see. This is a lot of suspense. Yeah, just message or just separate the letters, like S space E space X. Maybe that'll move away from the automod, because I don't know. It's not showing up for me. Hey, sourcing, how's it going? Yeah, see, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. It's been weird this morning today. I think it caught something else. I think somebody else tried it and it didn't show it. And it didn't show it either. It didn't even give me the option to approve or deny the message. My problem with is it transporting a miner for that purpose, not the fact that... Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of a no-no in any sense of the word, in every sense of the word. I tried twice. Yeah, I don't know. Automod is automod. Like, okay, so let me be very clear. None of this is okay in any way, shape, or form. None of it. Okay? None of it. Number one, she is underage. Okay, I'm sorry. 38-year-old, 17-year-old. Second of all, he is a representative of the United States Congress. There's huge power dynamics. Power dynamic differences, right? This is like, to give you an example, a boss. A boss coercing or sleeping with an employee. So there's that. Second of all, trafficking is kind of a huge deal, I would say. So none of this is okay. None of this is okay. Not in Texas. 17 is the age of consent. That still doesn't make it okay. It's one thing if you are like Larry Weird said, it's one thing 17 to 16. It's one thing to say like, oh yeah, I was 17, she was 16. That's not the issue. That's not an issue. Why is it considered allegedly trafficking again? Because he paid for her travel expenses to go across state lines or something like that. Basically, he paid for her travel and stuff like that. That is a huge no-no. The reason why it's called allegedly is because, well, there needs to be a trial investigation, so on and so forth. But yeah. If you are over the age of 25 dating a teenager is pretty weird, and that is the best interpretation. Yeah, that is like, I mean, that is as charitable as they come, except he's like 38. And it's like, come on, man. Yeah, not only consent, but like power dynamics too. Exactly, Wing. What I was talking about. Like, he is a representative of the United States. He's a representative of the United States Congress. That's huge issue. That's a huge problem when it comes to power dynamics. Not only that, the age difference also can be contributed to power dynamics. And furthermore, like, dude, you literally paid for her to travel, and you know. I would argue 22-year-old is a child. I should know I am one. Yeah, but I mean, if you can't vote, I mean, Mann Act from a long time ago, criminal crossing a state line with a minor for the purpose of sex is a federal law. Okay. Either way, there's no excuse for this in any way, shape, or form, not only legally, but morally and ethically. Like, full stop. Full stop. There's no excuse for this. No excuse for this legally, morally, or ethically, in any way, shape, or form. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, folks. Here's the kicker, folks. It came to light on Tuesday, however, that Gaetz asked Trump for a preemptive blanket pardon before the former president left office in January. It is unclear whether Trump or Gaetz knew a federal investigation into Gaetz had begun at the time. It doesn't matter. This is very telling. This is very telling. If you're not guilty of anything, because the blanket pardon isn't specific. If you're not guilty of anything, why would you need a preemptive blanket pardon if you weren't engaged in any type of criminal activity that would warrant a necessity for a pardon? That's really, really weird, my dude. If you're not guilty of anything, why would you need a preemptive pardon from the president? Alio coming in hot with the 15 biddies. Good morning, thank you so much. Pizza Gates, true. Yeah, so again, like, this isn't looking good for him, and it's really just gross. If he's completely innocent, who needs a pardon for something they didn't do? Right? Who needs a pardon Who needs a pardon for things that they didn't do? You see? Hey, look, I saw that one, Larry. Look at that. I was able to see that one. I think the age of consent is different from what is ethical in a specific dynamic. Additionally, I think voting and other decisions and other decisionability thresholds should be examined at their own merit. I don't think a 16-year-old should have access to drugs or alcohol without adult permission. But yeah, but adult permission. I do think a 16-year-old is capable of making a choice about policy in their future. Example, voting. Yeah, I see. Yeah, but the point being, Larry, is that like the last time it didn't even ask me if I wanted to permit this or deny this, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Thanks for the shout out, no problem. I think consent is more dynamic than just age. It's in reference to who and what they're consenting to. Who and what they're consenting to. Can somebody explain the gate meme? It's just like a play on words with the conspiracy theory of Pizzagate, Gate, which was a unproven conspiracy theory propagated by Alex Jones, saying that there was a pizza parlor that had a allegedly child sex trafficking ring that was run by the Democratic Party. Blah 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 blah. That pizza parlor didn't even have a basement, okay? That pizza parlor didn't even have a basement, and it culminated into someone going there with a firearm and attempting to save the children. How old is Gates? 38. He wanted to get out of jail card. I don't think you can have a preemptive pardon issued. Yeah, I don't know how that works in terms of like presidential pardons, but the point being is if he was asking for a preemptive pardon, why would you need that? If you didn't do anything wrong. If you didn't violate the law and you didn't do anything wrong, why would you need that? That's kind of weird, my dude, you know? Sounds bad, man. Gates, yeah. So I don't know. The whole thing is like cringe and bizarre and gross, in my opinion. And come what may to this person. Come what may to this person. If this guy, if it's proven, if all these alleged accusations are proven, I hope he gets everything that is coming to him. How about something really important like the new 420 milestone? What does that mean? Also kind of bizarre. Gates grew up in the house from the Truman Show. Really interesting. Hey Memmius, I'm not sure if I said hello to you. How's it going? What's the time frame on pardons? I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure the president can issue any pardons that he wants within the time frame that he's in office. Although I'm not sure how that applies in terms of like legality, because like if that's the case, everybody can get a blanket preemptive pardon, you know? So I'm not sure that's how that works. Just making some breakfast? Good, good, good. Good to hear. You know what? Instead of talking all of this nonsense, how about we just Google it? Can a president issue a pardon before a conviction? Sure, preemptive pardon. But let's Google that. What? Folks, from multiple sources, not just one, from multiple sources, the president has the power to issue preemptive pardons. What? It's unusual, but it totally can happen. What? Can I post a link? Send it to me. Send it to me in whispers, or throw it in the Discord, my friend. I believe it's happened in the past. Yeah, I just looked it up. It is possible. I believe Nixon was preemptively pardoned. Interesting. Yeah, so technically it is legal to issue a preemptive pardon, but not for future acts. Oh, okay. So wait, so in other words, let's say you are a let's say you're an investigation into you has started. The president can then issue a preemptive pardon for that, not for anything future. Is that it, Caring B? Oh yeah, we're gonna go over this. This sounds like a good article. Ford just issued a stop investigating Nixon for anything so the nation can heal. Got you. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so basically the issue was, okay, Nixon was under investigation, and then they issued a preemptive pardon, but that investigation was already underway, and the accusations or allegedness was already underway. It's not like you can just say, oh, blanket pardon for anything future that you might do. That makes a little bit more sense, but the fact is, like, why would you need a pardon if you didn't do anything wrong? I mean, what? And on top of that, knowing what this guy is potentially going to go down for, why would you let him headline a pro-Trump women's event? That makes me question, like, do you really care about women? I don't think so. I don't like that power. Me neither. That is unbelievably vague. Unbelievably vague. Oh yeah. Hey, my buddy, who I totally didn't put in my cabinet for no reason, is committing or is gonna be in or is under investigation for X thing that might implicate me or might implicate my other buddies. Let me just preemptively pardon this person, like just in case the investigation bears out. I'm gonna preemptively pardon this person. What? Cool. No accountability whatsoever. No accountability whatsoever. Granted, this is only for like federal crimes and like felonies. However, that is still disturbing that somebody could have that type of power, you know? Because it encourages, well, not encourages, but like there is a incentivization where you can kind of like have a lot of wiggle room to be corrupt and not suffer consequences. Right? You can be corrupt or criminal and there would be no consequences at the federal level anyways. Yeah, true. True, Larry Weird. Do we know if Gates already got the pardon? No, I don't think he did, though. I think he asked for one, but didn't get it. Which the point being is, like, why would you need to ask to be pardoned for something you didn't do? So we got two two climate change related articles coming up, but I do want to talk about this that I saw. And I don't think that like people realize just how bad the situation is when it comes to like homelessness, okay? Like, hey, not Richard Warlock. I don't think you can even get a pre-pardon, right? Like, you don't have, like, don't you have to be charged? Right. So, in terms of like preemptive pardon, what that means, as Carrying B clarified, is basically you can get a preemptive pardon in the sense that, hey, listen, bro, look, I need your help right now. I'm being under investigation for X. And they'll just issue a preemptive pardon. So no matter what that investigation is, you're good. But yes, you do have to be investigated. It's not like you can just get a preemptive pardon for anything future that you did, that you're going to do. It's something that's happening to you right now. Which, by the way, have you all followed Left Flank Vets yet? Have y'all followed Left Flank Vets yet? I thought they had to be charged first. Not necessarily. You can just be under investigation. Trump could have easily given the pardon to the wrong Matt Gaetz. If they wanted to save him, they'd charge him while Trump was in office. Wait, didn't they begin the investigation as in the last parts of the Trump administration? How was that clip interview? Oh, super risky asking for Trump to pardon you in the last month of his presidency. Trump could have easily given. True. Yeah. If they wanted to save him, I mean, well, maybe. Daddy Trump, can I please has one pardon? Alright. Seriously though, mobile homelessness is the highest it's ever been. I think that this is something that needs to be brought to attention. On the heels of the pandemic, the growing population of unsheltered people are forced to live in their vehicles. A friend of mine who works in the criminal justice system once said to me in confidence, "I know incarceration is a scam because the same number of inmates go out and come in each month. The job isn't to keep crime down, it's to keep the prison full." In terms of for-profit prisons, that is 100% the case. In fact, don't they get incentives and bonuses based on that? This is why for-profit prisons shouldn't exist. Ever since he pointed this out to me, I've kept my eyes peeled for systems where numbers mirror each other, and knowing there's probably something afoot with the same number of people that go out come in. Recently, I observed that the trend of identical numbers is happening regardless of homelessness and eviction. Here's the breakdown. Approximately 10 million US workers are unemployed as a result of the international shutdowns. Approximately 10 million people are behind on their rental payments as well. True. So what gives eviction moratoriums and government funding are fading. Many believe the most recent rescue package will be the last. There's talks of mass vaccination, opening up schools, rebuilding the economy that's currently hanging by a thread. The world we knew a year and a half ago has been erased, replaced with a cautious, feeble reality. It's a new day. While many people used to get in their cars to head to work, they're now getting in their cars and turning in for the night. Like, so, yeah, that's still homelessness, folks. There's a massive problem where, yeah, sure, they have a car, but they're sleeping in their car. Homelessness does not equal you being like sleeping out on the street or something like that. Automod is allowing Hakim without sex. I don't know. Automod does what Automod does. "29 people make money every time somebody gets arrested." Yes, these would be the people who own the prisons, yeah? Vehicular homelessness is rising at a dramatic rate. This is a reflection of the circumstances. The state of homelessness is not affecting people who are already in desolate poverty per se. Instead, it's wreaking havoc on middle wage workers who experience a sudden shift in circumstances. Yesterday, they had the job, the house, the car, the so-called safety net of security. Today, unemployment. Well, then it's not really a strong safety net, is it? Today, unemployment is a parking lot where furloughed employees go to put their former lives to rest. Unbelievable. As of February of 2021, more people are living in their cars than there were before the pandemic. This is an astonishing news when you consider 2018, more people were living in vehicles than had there ever been from a historical standpoint. We just surpassed that number by a landslide. Mobile homelessness is the highest it's ever been at any place during any time on national record. In an interview with USA Today, postdoctoral scholar with the Benioff Homelessness and Housing Initiative at the UCSF Center for Vulnerable Populations confirmed the rise in mobile vehicular homelessness was happening at unprecedented levels. In reality, though, this could be the beginning of yet another crisis. Jeez. Could vehicular homelessness become the leading type of homelessness to affect Americans? The answer is a resounding yes. The National League of Cities posits that the vehicular homelessness represents the growing population of unsheltered people. It also represents the growing number of middle-class people being driven off the workforce and into abject poverty. The after effect is this very distinct subtype of unsheltered homelessness. When an individual or family with no unsheltered life experience, a vehicle might seem like a safe place to survive, but in reality, taking up residence in the family minivan in the back of a Walmart parking lot or along the shoulder of a stretched highway is incredibly dangerous. For one thing, it makes this group of individuals who are often categorized as hidden homeless visibly homeless once the sun goes down. Therefore, they're more vulnerable to harassment, assault, theft, and arrest. True. So I'd like to also point out that if you were thank you for the follow, Rob Lobster. Also, if you're in the middle class and the fact that all that happened to you is you lost your job and then just instantly homeless, I don't know if that's either a misnomer that you were in the middle class to begin with. That seems like a miscategorization, because that is, if you're just this on the edge of being homeless, if you just lose your job and then boom, you're out on the street, I don't know if you can even consider that middle class. If that even is that's a serious label. Amazon proudly hires homeless people for Xmas and for the Christmas rush, allowing them to sleep in their car at Amazon warehouses. Is the owner of Twitch and Ice? Isn't the owner of Twitch and Ice fucking millionaire? Yeah. Hey, thank you, Daddy Bezos, or thank you, Daddy Bezos, for temporarily giving a job. Everybody say thank you to Daddy Bezos. God. Hey, Anarchist Laboratory, Sean. But yeah, this kind of speaks to how actually deeper the issue is in terms of the economic impact. Just because you're not living out on the street doesn't mean that you are doesn't mean that you're not homeless, you know? I think that people kind of forget that this is a thing sometimes. As automobile homelessness increases, laws against sleeping in vehicles reach never before seen heights as well. When the National Law Center of Homelessness and Poverty analyzed the recent trend, when they were baffled to learn that as vehicle residency skyrocketed to all-time high, legislation banned vehicle residency escalated by a whopping 143%. The results reflect a decade's worth of research within 187 U.S. cities. To put things into perspective, the leading cause of vehicular homelessness are, wow, surprise, surprise, wage stagnation, COVID-related unemployment and or underemployment, lack of affordable housing, wow, rent increasing pacing at double the rate of the national wage. Yeah, I mean, these things right here are intertwined hand in hand. So yeah, I would even almost tie them together. You can't afford housing if there's wage stagnation. Something is gonna give. Either you won't be able to pay for the roof over your head, or you're gonna have to give up food. Or you're gonna have to give up the ability to maintain your vehicle, which can't do that because you need that to get to work. I mean, like, this is all intertwined. I got here, so touch some music before I go full doom. Later, fight the good fight. Hey, thank you for stopping by, Larry Weird. I'm sorry, Ivy_Yang. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Homelessness in and of itself is a public health crisis. When you add vehicles into the equation, what you get is a negative environmental impact for the individuals experiencing mobile homelessness due to the exposure of poor air quality. This also impacts individuals and surrounding communities as cars turned on unnecessarily in order to provide heat, shelter, or even move from place to place seeking safety. On a more subliminal level, the premise of residing in a vehicle has become somewhat acceptable form of affordable housing. Yeah, imagine being like, hey guys, you know what? Yeah, I could live in I could live off $7.25. Dude, just live in your car, bro. Just live in your car. And that is abhorrent. That is abhorrent. On a more subliminal level, the premise residing in a vehicle is becoming somewhat acceptable form of affordable housing. There are all sorts of problems with taking this stance. The most glaring is the fact that a house is not a car. True, among other things, vehicle residency is unsanitary as many vehicles don't have running water. Yeah, contrary to popular belief, vehicles are not homes. They don't have running water, plumbing, bathrooms. Yeah. Is restrictive, forcing inhabitants to spend a great deal of time seated or hunched over, creates poverty as tickets and fines pile up, and the price of vehicle maintenance from overuse becomes a serious problem. Yeah, it's horrifying. It's horrifying that this is a thing, and you know, there's even situations where I've seen that people have jobs and are forced to live in their cars because said job doesn't pay enough to afford a roof over their head. Safe parking lots provide a temporary solution that should not replace real housing. Seeing the imminent need, many cities have scrambled to create safe parking programs. Such programs create a space for individuals experiencing vehicular homelessness to park safely and free from harm. These programs also provide social services, storage, restrooms, and garbage removal. While they are a promising step in the right direction, we should never stop forging the path forward to affordable housing for all. True. True. Basically, the issue here is that we're accepting this as a completely fine situation. We're accepting this as a completely fine and dandy situation when in reality it's a crisis. This is not okay. This is the richest country in the world. This should not be happening. Automod, why? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even see. I'm not even getting the option to approve or deny these things. I hear without help, being poor is a downward spiral. It's expensive to be poor. Everything costs more because you have to buy everything in small batches. Is always a premium in our society. True. Costs more because you have to buy everything in small batch, which is always a premium, in our society. Yes, being poor is expensive. Okay, being poor is expensive. So it's a economic trap where there's no way for you to be able to alleviate that situation, or the programs that exist to try to alleviate that situation are woefully underfunded or not even effective. Meanwhile, the boomers in retirement, nomad retirement, living in sleeper vans. Yeah, but this is different. This is like them doing like a, having the ability to just go out and have a time and have a good time exploring the country in their sleeper vans, Well, what I said is there's actual middle and upper class people encouraging people to sleep in their cars. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, wow, imagine the meme of like, yeah, you could totally live with minimum wage, bro. All you have to do is live in your car, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is not acceptable. Not acceptable in the richest country in the world. You see? I was able to approve that one. Okay, whatever, Automod, you do you, bro. I gotta check the settings behind the scenes. Our economy is implicitly a system which leeches off the poor. I don't think it's the intent, but it absolutely plays out this way. True. We can do better. Automods should start modding chats that mention it. That way we cannot speak out against it. Our robot overlords will always win at the end of the day. All right, folks. We've all seen that there have been documented cases where COVID survivors suffer some type of like neurological or mental disorder. And it turns out, and this is for the people who are constantly focusing on the death rate of COVID. Constantly focusing on the death rate of COVID without actually realizing that there's so much more to it than just the death rate. There are serious, sometimes permanent, problems that can occur after the fact. A third of COVID survivors suffer neurological or mental disorders. A study. 1 in 3 COVID-19 survivors in a study of more than 230,000 mostly American patients were diagnosed with a brain or psychiatric disorder within 6 months, suggesting the pandemic could lead to a wave of mental and neurological problems. Researchers who conducted the analysis said it was not clear how the virus was linked to a psychiatric condition such as anxiety or depression, but that these were the most common diagnoses among the 14 disorders they looked at. Post-COVID cases of stroke, dementia, and other neurological disorders were rare, the researcher said, but were still significant, especially in those who had severe COVID. Although the individual risks for most disorders are small, the effect across the whole population may be substantial, said Paul Harrison, a professor of psychiatry at Oxford University who co-led the work. Max Tackett, also an Oxford psychiatrist who worked with Harrison, noted that the study was not able to examine the biological or psychological mechanisms involved, but said urgent research is needed to identify these with a view to prevent or treat them. With a view to preventing or treating them. Health experts are increasingly concerned by evidence of higher risk of brain and mental disorders among COVID survivors. A previous study by the same researchers found last year that 20% of COVID survivors were diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder within 3 months. So it is a trend that's not new. This kind of just is another study pointing in that direction. The new studies published in the Lancet Psychiatry Journal analyzed health records of 236,379 COVID patients, mostly from the United States, and found that 34% have been diagnosed with neurological or psychiatric illness within 6 months. The disorders were significantly more common in COVID-19 patients rather than in the comparison group of people who recovered from the flu or other respiratory infections over the same time period. Scientists said, suggesting that COVID had a specific impact. Anxiety at 17%, mood disorders at 14% were the most common and did not appear to be related to how mild or severe the patient's infection had been. Among those who had been admitted to intensive care with severe COVID, however, 7% had a stroke within 6 months and 2% were diagnosed with dementia. Yeah, this is a possibility. Independent experts said that the findings are worrying. This is a very important paper. It confirms beyond any reasonable doubt that COVID affects both the brain and mind in equal measure, said Simon Wesley, chair of the psychiatry at King's College London. The impact COVID is having on individuals' mental health can be severe, said Leah Milligan, chief executive of MQ Mental Health Research Charity. This is contributing to the already rising levels of mental illness and requires further and urgent research. True. Still worried about the death rate now? COVID absolutely wrecks people. I still don't know the long-term damage. I still don't know what the long-term damage is that it did to my lungs, but it can scar your liver as well as damage the brain. Yeah, we knew that from within months going into this, that there are serious, permanent, sometimes side effects to this thing. It's not just that you can potentially die from it. Okay, so your camera does not like you when you back out of the zoom view. Oh man, wait, what does it do? Yeah, so COVID absolutely has side effects that are permanent, serious, and people who deliberately focus on the death rate are being disingenuous and not understanding the scope of the problem. The solution is very simple, guys. It's very simple. It's not an infringement on your rights or whatever, okay? Wear your mask. Try to stay home if you don't have to go out. Remember social distancing. Wash your hands. Get the vaccine. Make your appointments. Vaccine for the general population should be available in the next coming weeks. So these things, these very, 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 very simple things, and you can avoid that. It like stalls for a second and there's some static on screen. Oh, that's on purpose. I wonder what the rate of mental disorder are for people without COVID during this period. They said that it's significantly higher, but that's vague. It's not saying COVID doesn't cause it, just trying to decipher what this study shows. This study is cementing the hypothesis that there is a link between neurological and mental disorders and COVID. That's the point of this study, is to illustrate that there indeed is a link between neurological and mental disorders and COVID. They suspected this from before. They had certain data leading towards that, but now it seems like we're pretty on the cusp of saying, like, yeah, this thing is totally a thing. They do, however, need more research into they need more research in terms of like cementing the solutions, and I imagine like to really get down to the nitty gritty of like how COVID does this. That is where the research, I imagine, is going to go. But the hypothesis or premise or abstract is there are links between neurological and mental disorders and COVID. Just by locking down and nobody whined about my freedom. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did what they needed to do. The countries that did what they needed to do, the countries that followed the science, and followed their experts, had much better outcomes. Okay, I mean, look at even South Korea did wonderful. New Zealand did phenomenal. Yes, I understand that, but they quantified how many people got mental disorders for people that had COVID, but not for the people without. Australia. Good morning, I get my vaccine today. Hey, Renardus. Awesome. Awesome. How many got mental disorders for people that had COVID, but not for the people without? Didn't they have that? I'm pretty sure they had like, I'm pretty sure they had that. Oh, I see. The comparison group was people who recovered from flu or other respiratory infections over the same time period. And here they say, this is contributing to the already rising level of mental illness and requires further and other and urgent resources. So they're acknowledging that there is a, they're saying that there is a case of, there is a rise in mental illness. However, there is a specific link to COVID. They give vaccine but not medicine, like dexamethasone, killing all disorders, inflammation in the neurons, etc. What are you talking about? Did you see that Texas is going to defy the federal eviction ban? No. But that's horrifying. They give vaccine but not medicine, like dexamethasone, killing all disorders. Wait, that's not what dexamethasone does. Wait, that's not what dexamethasone does. It's a steroid, is it not? Texas is having a normal one, I see. True. Yeah, I mean, that's horrifying if they want to defy the federal eviction ban. It's on this morning. Send it to me, War Machine. Send it to me via DM. I want to know how I can whitelist certain links so that people can post certain links and I can kind of monitor it that way, because I don't know. I think I'd have to do it with Stream Elements. Not only that, they do admit that they need to have further urgent research. In other words, they feel like, look, this article might or might not be a bit misleading or alarmist. No way to tell how it's phased. No way to tell how it is phrased. Well, the TLDR is that it does seem like, basically, the TLDR is, no, it's not to be alarmist, okay? It's to make people understand there are other effects of COVID, okay? And that there seems to be a documented link between mental and neurological diseases and COVID, okay? That's the things that we should be getting from this article, okay? That's the thing that we should be getting from this article. Anything that's editorialized or whatever, but the point being is, yes, there are studies, and what these studies have shown is that there is a link between these two things. And 3, please be aware, COVID is not just about the death rate, okay? Do your part, wear your mask, social distancing, and make sure you make an appointment for vaccines whenever it becomes available. I believe by the middle of April, it should be for everybody across the board. Yeah, it's informative. It's like to advise you of like what they're finding, and I'm sure that this further research is going to pin down exactly how COVID is linked, because that's the question, right? Not the same across from the world. Date is about June to September for us. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Last I heard, my state won't be ready to roll vaccine out to low-risk populations until May. Jeez. Texas courts open eviction floodgates. We just stepped off a cliff. The Texas state court system is signaling that will no longer enforce a federal order aimed to stop evictions during the COVID pandemic. This could clear the way for landlords to push ahead with tens of thousands of eviction cases that have been on hold. The timing could be particularly painful for many families, coming after Congress have approved billions of dollars to help people pay the rent they owe to avoid eviction, but before the vast majority of renters have been able to receive any of that money. This is horrifying if this goes through. What's about to happen in Texas is going to be catastrophic. What's about to happen in Texas is catastrophic. Just a schedule because Europe started earlier. Gotcha. COVID can be treated well with medicines they do not give out. What does that even mean? Are you okay, bro? Real quick. Real quick. Do you think that people should be vaccinated? Do you think that people should do their part by wearing masks, social distancing, washing hands, and get vaccinated? Do you believe that? Yes or no? I don't need any other excuses. Yes or no? The fact that it could scare... The fact sounds like it could scare people. This just being published to scare people into communism. Is fucking masks. Okay, great. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Imagine getting infected by weeks before your vaccine. Yeah. This study just released shows after treatment, a third have long-term health impacts. Right. So again, the point being is not just the point being exactly, Dustin. Um, please take this seriously. And just because you got treated and just because you survived does not mean you don't have permanent health issues later on. Exactly, Anarchist Laboratory. Texas just went through this polar vortex and now this. This is terrible. This is terrible. If this goes through, that's going to cause a huge problem. That's going to cause a huge problem. Hey, Gromsterino, how's it going? I believe in I just don't. What do I believe in? Vaccines, masks, social distancing. That's what you believe in. Thank you for walking in to my TED Talk. I do much good vaccine good, social distancing, but why no medicine that treat... We do have that, and it is being deployed. I don't understand what you're saying. We have a couple of treatments that are working and have been deployed. I'm not understanding what you're saying. And you understand that treatment does not equal cure. Treatment does not equal cure. A vaccine would effectively, if done right and if everybody does their part, effectively tamp that down to the point where COVID becomes irrelevant. That's how vaccinations work. That's why we don't have problems with polio. Name the cure or medicine to cure COVID. Wait, we have vaccines. Wait, vaccines are... That's the cure. That's the cure, dude. If you get the vaccine, the chances of you developing A, COVID is extremely low, and B, the impact is severely decreased, thus giving you the best possible outcomes. And if everybody gets it, we effectively eradicate it. That's how vaccines work. Wait, do you not know how vaccines work? Are you okay, buddy? Are you having like an issue here? Everything is still shut down because not everybody has the vaccine. We're not nowhere near herd immunity. It never gets eradicated. If we don't do our part, it might become endemic, where it becomes a yearly thing. But if we do our part, we have an absolute chance of putting this behind us. No, I don't think they mean that 550k equals lucky. I think they mean that it could have been way worse. Yeah, with all of modern medicine and we still have 550,000k. True. True. So you're not making sense, Burger Planetary. You're complaining about lockdowns when you understand that we require an X amount of population to be vaccinated for this thing to work. So yeah, TLDR, that's why this is still happening. And why we shouldn't relax. This is the last time you want to let your guard down just because a vaccine is out. We want to make sure we can get this behind us as quickly as possible. We want to try to get this behind us as quickly as possible. That's also true, Memias. That's right, anarchist. Yeah, just like with antibiotics. Once you feel a little bit better, then you toss the bottle. Exactly. Jesus. I'm neutral for washing hands, face masks, amount of protection. Yeah, but no one's doing as quickly as possible, like 24-hour vaccine. What are you talking about? I am neutral and for washing hands, face masks. Should vaccine, but no one's doing as quickly as possible, like 24-hour open vaccine spots to give this flu shot. It's not a flu shot. I'm really not understanding what you're trying to say here. It's not a flu shot, and I don't know what being neutral is about doing basic stuff to get over this. Okay. Is someone trying to sell us hydroxychloroquine? No. Legal aid attorneys are raising the alarm that state is about to allow a group of people to be put out of their homes with no place to go. Yeah, this is going to be horrifying if this is a case. But yeah, everything is bigger in Texas, including the rate of evictions, apparently. That's not true either. There's almost zero COVID cases where I'm from, and most businesses are open, not locked, just following simple guidelines. Hey, look at that. Mortsitsku, how's it going? I don't know if we'll ever get... Stop. Chat. Okay, hold on. I don't know if we'll ever get over this. It seems like it might keep mutating or something new may pop up. Well, the good thing, Great Equalizer, is so far... it looks like the efficacy of vaccines have not been significantly impacted by the new strains, okay? It seems like the overall efficacy of the vaccines have been pretty good in terms of dealing with the new strain. The point being is that now is the perfect time to make sure you have your masks to prevent the spread of new strains. You know, get your vaccine, social distancing, so on and so forth. Antivirus actually do deal... true. What are we guys discussing? We're discussing, right now, stun lockdown COVID. Yeah, basically. Dexamethasone doesn't kill the bat. Listen, buddy. Alright. Oh, take a second and do some research. Take a second and do some research. Dexamethasone does not kill the virus, okay? I want everybody here being very clear. It does not kill the virus, okay? No treatment. No treatment. No shot. No Nothing that we have right now kills the virus, okay? Like aerosol and drop it like fire retardant? No. Yeah, he was one step away from saying hydroxychloroquine. Like, no, it doesn't do any of that. I don't think COVID will ever go away in the US. I think it'll just be a part of life. Man, I've seen studies indicating that it could become endemic, and I've heard concerns about that. I just hope it doesn't become the case. Because if not, that's going to be a yearly thing that we have to deal with. So, who knows? Who knows? All right, folks. I'm going to take a quick break. And this is a quick second to show for myself. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. It really does help us out. We appreciate all of you guys being here. And of course, my call to action is always, please spread the word that this is the chillest place for news and politics, Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. On Saturdays, we have Saturday Catterday, where we play some video games and just have a pretty cool chill time. And if you want to support the channel, there are multiple ways of supporting the channel via subs, biddies, donos, and of course the exclamation merch. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are what makes this channel go. I can't thank you guys enough, and I will be right back. Right after I shout out Lost Sue. Alio with the 10 biddies. Thank you so much. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, folks. I heard that they made consumable rabies vaccines for bats to stop the spread before it reaches humans. It would be wonderful if they could do the same for COVID in humans, just pump it out in the water supply. Yeah, I mean, I really doubt that we have the ability to do that, just simply because of the nature of the of the virus, I imagine. Excuse me, Jesus. But yes, if you haven't already, check out Lost Sue, check out Anarchist Laboratory, check out Left Flank Vets, check out Alio. Sure. Let's see if I missed anybody here. Once again, thank you, Alio, for the 10 biddies, for the 15 biddies, Madame Defarge for the subscription, and Rob Lobster and Ivy_Yang for the follows. I appreciate that. So yeah, TLDR, And TLDR, the Texas homelessness crisis is about to be really bad. Is about to be really bad. TLDR, please take this seriously. Do your part. Follow the science. Okay? Follow the health professionals. I hope so too, Dustin. I hope so too. Speaking of, I guess this is a perfect transition. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got another email from a very stable person. From a very stable person. This is from the executive. Yes, it's Gab mail time. It's Gab mail time. Oh yes. Oh yes, they just keep coming. I'm telling you, this is like permanent content gold. And we're watching this person unravel in real time. We're watching this person unravel in real time. In February, this is Andrew Torba, the founder of Gab. In February, explained the many reasons that the oligarchs fear Christianity. Okay? Their attacks on Christians started shortly after the most peaceful protests on the Capitol on January 6th. Wow. After the mostly peaceful protest at the Capitol on January 6th. That is so, wow, amazing. The hypocrisy. Ooh, the hypocrisy. Suddenly, Christian nationalism was a threat to our democracy. Radicalized Christian nationalism is one of the biggest threats facing the US. I mean, yeah. Nationalism, Christian dominionism, this extremist religious fundamentalism is a problem, yes. Give me a break. Their last attack against Christians is the fact that many of us refuse to get jabbed with an experimental vaccine. Experimental vaccine, folks. Wait, it's not true. For a virus with a 99% survival rate among the vast majority of the population. We just went over why that is a complete nonsense way of thinking. Okay? We literally just went over why that's not. We literally just went over why that isn't the case, right? And like why we shouldn't just focus on the death rate or survival rate. White evangelical resistance is an obstacle to vaccination efforts. I mean, you're proving their point. Yeah, you're proving their point. Because right here you're saying many of you are refusing to get vaccinated. So how could you be mad that then you get that? How could you be mad that then you get an article printed out when it says white evangelical resistance is obstacle in vaccination effort, when you're literally saying most of us refuse to get jabbed with an experimental vaccine. Christian nationalism is a barrier to mass vaccination against COVID-19, but you're saying that you're refusing to get the vaccine. So I mean, I don't get it. Radical Christian nationalism is so strange to me. What happened to caring for the poor and turning the other cheek? Yeah, that doesn't happen. That's not what they believe in. These people love any excuse to demonize white people and Christianity. No one should be demonizing anybody based on their Nobody should be demonizing based on their race, okay? However, it is, I mean, you're literally proving the point that your radical religious fundamentalism is a barrier to max vaccination, especially when you reach an audience such as large as yours, Andrew Torbo. And you are admitting that many of you are refusing to get the vaccine. You can't complain when there's articles saying that Christian fundamentalism or Christian nationalism or religious fundamentalism are a barrier to mass vaccination. Meanwhile, the big tech overlords at Facebook are fact-checking posts from people who are dying from the vaccine. They investigated that like one case. The vaccine wasn't the cause of death. Mark Zuckerberg is also partnering with the government to socially shame those who decide not to get the experimental vaccine verified profiles. What? Who decide not to get the vaccine with a vaccine verified profile. What does that even mean? Since when is our medical history Facebook's business? No, nobody. What? The great irony here is that Zuckerberg himself isn't vaccinated yet. Maybe he just doesn't want to risk his skin peeling off in reaction to the COVID shot. Okay, no, there's no evidence for that. This is purely fiction. Risk aside, Christian also face a moral dilemma in regard to the fact that the fetal cell lines played a vital role in development all three of vaccines. Perhaps this is why the vaccine, like abortion, has become a de facto religious ceremony for the followers of the demonic critical theory religion that is sweeping Western society. No. Okay, critical theory is not anything to do with vaccination. And the fact that the fact that fetal cell lines played a vital role in the development of all three vaccines, what does that have to do with anything? There's a lot of medical stuff that has been advanced because of stem cells, right? And often, or sometimes, it's used with fetal cells. Yeah, that's how we get what? But didn't Donald Trump and Melania get the vaccine? Yeah. But they won't go into that one. Do you remember anyone virtue signaling online about getting the flu shot in the past? I sure don't. Suddenly it's cool and hip to let the entire world know about your medical history as a sign of your commitment to the cause of oligarch tyranny. Yes. Attempting to get the vaccine and attempting to eliminate this pandemic, which is unprecedented and absolutely nothing like the flu, is committing to the cause of oligarchic tyranny. Okay? In other news, half of Americans support a vaccine passport, which means our society is rapidly fragmenting into two distinct economies. The economy of the sane and rational people who do not want an experimental vaccine injected in their body, and those who handed over their body autonomy as a science experiment so things could go back to normal. Citation heavily needed. Newsflash, things are never going to go back to normal, just like they did after 9/11. Wait, what does that have to do with 9/11? What does this have to do with 9/11? Ricks with the Tier 1 subscription for 2 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Keep shining the light on this crazy stuff. True. Oh man, I'm so glad I get these emails from this particular person. Reagan's against stem cell research until Ronnie Brain started melting. Yeah, true. This is one of the many reasons I've been pushing Christians to start building our own economy, separate from all this madness. Soon enough, we won't have any other choice. Ultimately, the oligarchs in power want us all worshipping the state, stuff, and science. But also, buy my stuff. But also buy my stuff and subscribe to Gabbro. As God. Yeah, science is indeed something that we should probably be behind. Yeah, science is good. Yeah, true. The oligarchical tyranny of science. Yeah, true. God Almighty gets in the way of that. Oh boy, hey, true. This is the truest statement in this whole email. God Almighty does get in the way of that. They want us enslaved to sin, to become even more spineless, docile, complacent, obedient pigs. What? That's so weird. Christians and God stand in the way of their total and complete control. The experimental vaccine isn't about health and it isn't about politics. It's about power. Oh yeah, the vaccine. Hey, I didn't know this was so controversial. Trying to get a vaccine to eliminate a unprecedented global pandemic. Hey, Memmius. Oh my goodness. Memmius with the tier 1 subscription at 6 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Keep up the great work shining light on this nonsense. Thank you. Eat. How's it going? Oh, more of this? Oh yeah, no. We are oof. This is content. Heat. We do live in an oligarchy, but not much less. Yeah, true. Not much else. It's about power. Power over your body, power over your mind, power over your soul. Resist. Keep the faith. We are children of God. After all, my body, my choice, right? Damn! Wow! Okay. Here's the best way to think about this. You know how you have like mandatory, not mandatory, but like, you know how you have to have certain vaccines to be able to go to school or to be able to travel to certain places? Yeah, it's just like this. Do you feel like your bodily autonomy is being taken away by that? Is your bodily autonomy being taken away by making sure that you have certain vaccines before you go to school? Most Christians already own the capitalist economy. You can tell by the moral compass they use running it. True. You want the benefits of society. You like socialized water and electricity. You have to do your part to protect society. Get vaccinated or get out. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're proposing. That's literally what they're proposing. Somewhere around here. Where is it? Oh yeah. This is one of the many reasons I have been pushing Christians to start building our own economy separate from all this madness. Click to see this email as a blog post and please share it with a friend. Oh, we're sharing it, all right. We're having a grand time over here. Yeah, so no, this vaccine isn't experimental. It's been their effects have been widely documented, and it only seems to reinforce their efficacy. It seems like a lot of this is showing good promise. Um, and I hope that as we continue, we'll be able to get over this, okay? It is definitely not it is definitely about health, and it is definitely not about politics. Some people chose to make it that way, but a simple vaccine is not political in any way, shape, or form, unless you made it that way. Okay? There's nothing that there's nothing more irresponsible or dense than to accept this guy's worldview. This is irresponsible. He has a huge platform. He has a massive platform that reaches a lot of people who will unironically believe this and unironically make decisions based off what this guy says. Right, over 100 million vaccinated, it will kill you. It's really sounding weak. Yeah, it's not based in reality in any way, shape, or form. But the problem is this person does have a huge reach, okay? Gab may be small in terms of like the overall, I guess, internet. Gab is small. Gab is nothing. Gab is a drop in the water in comparison to like Facebook or Twitter or whatever, or YouTube. Gab is merely but a drop in the water. But this guy, as the leader, CEO, has reach, a lot of reach within that platform that has a lot of people, okay? And unfortunately, it influences people to think this way. It influences people potentially not take the vaccine. Okay? It makes our recovery that much harder. It makes our recovery that much harder. And then this tongue-in-cheek, this super gotcha. Oh, my body, my choice, right? Okay, so you're cool with abortions now? Is that what you're saying, Torba? You're cool with abortions now? In other news, hey, spread it forward. In other news, the Biden administration will not mandate COVID vaccine passports, so it's a fear-based falsehood anyways. Yeah, that's exactly, like, it's not based in reality. Okay, I don't know how, like, DMCA this is, but I'll try to play some of it.
Thank you. Just two questions. One on vaccine again. Is there any thought being given to a federally organized vaccine passport of some kind? Does the president see that maybe as some kind of tool that could be used?
Just in case, I'll just play the audio.
People have raised objections over privacy and so on.
This is Jen Psaki answering the question that Spread It Forward was just posting, answering the question of mandatory vaccine passports.
Let me be very clear on this. I know there's been lots of questions. The government is not now, nor will we be supporting a system that requires Americans to carry a credential. There will be no federal vaccinations database and no federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential. As these tools are being considered by the private and nonprofit sectors, our interest is very simple from the federal government, which is Americans' privacy and rights should be protected, and so that these systems are not used against people unfairly.
Okay, fair point. But I think that there are situations so what's the DMCA? But sometimes, like, when you play clips of mainstream media or like clips of things like The Hill and stuff like that, they'll DMCA you. They'll take you down for playing their YouTube video. I got one from playing a Fox video, and I got a DMCA takedown from playing a CNN or CBS video. I think one of those two, CBS or CNN. They took me down. So I had to, are using repeater radio stations in small towns to reinforce their propaganda messages like this. They're drowning out public radio signals, slowing vaccinations down. But I'm seeing people to start post. My QAnon mom got vaccinated after others they know got the shot. Yeah. Diamond and Silk, the African American sisters, use chat.com. Mike Lindell wants to found Frank, a social network. Yeah, true. And Mike O is already getting sued for the name, and Donald Trump is making his own social network. Yeah, yes, that's true, Alio. I've seen all of those possibilities. But the point being is that this is the fact that the Gab guy has so much reach and is capable of influencing people in this manner is extremely disturbing. And not only that, it's based on the lie. Okay, this entire premise of the email is based on a lie. Okay, it's based on a lie to push Christian nationalism or Christian dominionism, religious fundamentalism, religious extremism. That's what this is ultimately pushing. Okay. That's ultimately what they're pushing. We have already a federal database for weapons and background checks. Just add a few tables and you have a workable COVID vax. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that maybe under certain circumstances it's warranted. Like, for example, schools. You have your you have your children vaccinated against certain things. Why would this be any different? Marcy, how's it going? Had some things to do? No worries. I'm just glad you're here, even if it's just toward the end. My point being is, like, maybe it's warranted in certain situations, like, in, like, school settings or something like that. My stream got rated last night. Yay. Nice. Very nice. Just like you have your children's your children vaccinated against, like, tuberculosis or measles, or there's certain things that you have, right? There's no mandatory flu vaccine, but you do get encouraged to take it, so there's that. I mean, it could be either way. It just depends, because, like, if it's really that serious in terms of, like, okay, we're never going to get over this until we have, like, a strict and severe and a more harsh approach to it, then fine. But the point being is that there's no need to listen to any of this fear-mongering. This is purely based on fear-mongering, and it is antithetical to science, to reality. And that's what bugs me. This is not based on science. This is not based on facts. This is based on feelings. This is not based on feelings. I don't think I have enough time to cover this, but we may have to open up tomorrow's stream with this. We may need to open up tomorrow's stream with this. Carbon dioxide spikes to critical record, halfway to doubling pre-industrial levels. Yeah. Ecocide movement pushes for a new international crime and environmental destruction. I think that should be a thing. Quick TLDR. I think that exacerbating. I found this really cool channel that has cool breakdowns on the vaccine for someone who is clearly educated. Interesting. Something to look forward to. Yeah. So TLDR, I think that it should be a criminal offense to destroy the environment to the point where you're destroying or have a palpable impact on ecosystems that keep us alive, I think that should be criminal. And people should face consequences for this, like in Costa Rica. All right, folks. I do apologize. I do have to get going. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for all the support. You guys have been absolutely awesome. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Stay with me. We're going to raid Bleep Blop Ben, I believe, is on. Thank you, Rix. Thank you, Memmius. Thank you, Alio. Thank you, Madame Defarge. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Heat, for hanging out here. Rick, spread it forward. Thank you so much. Jesse, Dustin. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Memmius. Just making sure I got everybody here. Mortzika, thank you. Alio. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out here. Larry, War Machine, all of you guys. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you enjoyed the channel, don't forget to hit that follow button. Head on over to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. And as always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! I'm on the waitlist for the vax. Nice. Alright, folks. Bleep Blop Ben. Be kind. Be awesome. Let's head on over in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.